Hi there, my name is Ben, and this is my very first video. I want to discuss 5 things I wish I knew in my undergrad before I joined grad school. Let's face it, even a PhD student will not have it figured out. They have to juggle through a lot of confusion, lack of confidence, and the most dangerous of all, procrastination. If you are struggling with keeping it together in academia, this video is just for you. Let's begin. No one cares about your history. It doesn't matter whether you join grad school as an A student or as a foreign student or as a scholarship student. The most important part is that you joined, and the moment you're in class, all the rules will apply uniformly for all the students. You will be assessed through the same curriculum. You will take the same exams, and you have the same professors to interact with. So your history does not really matter into what you are able to do. The most important part of history is to be able to move you to the next level. But once you're in the next level, all that happened in the past does not matter. That takes us to point number 2. No one is competing with you. The faster you realize that education is not a competition, the faster you are going to appreciate the small milestone that you make as a student. If you didn't understand a concept today, and you study about it and you understand it tomorrow, that's learning. Even if some other students are going to outperform you, the most important part is that you've learned something that you didn't know in the past. And that takes us to the third point. You must be street smart. Street smart means you have knowledge beyond books. You can interact with people and you can be able to influence people. You can be a leader. You can be able to establish a business opportunity and work on it. You can be able to influence customers to buy your product and so on and so forth. As a student, it's always important to focus on more than books. Focusing on more than books means you're able to identify the opportunities that can better you in your profession, that can better you in solving your community problems, can better you in solving your personal problems, and so on and so forth. And that takes us to point number 4, which is once you do something, you must do it once more. Meaning, once you've understood how to solve a problem, you must work beyond the problem you've solved. You must try to solve another problem and another problem and another problem. In the process, you're going to become an expert and you'll never forget that skill of solving a particular problem. Do it more than once. Nobody ever told me that once I've learned how to solve a problem, I'm supposed to be consistent. I'm supposed to try to solve many other problems. The tendency is once you've solved a problem, there is that feeling of accomplishment, and you don't want to get to repeat the same process again and again and again. Now, what happens is that before you realize it, you have forgotten how you solved the problem, and that issue continues until to a point where you can no longer remember how it was like to solve the problem. The last important thing I wish I knew, always to look back and reflect. Looking back and reflect means everyone needs to collect history. You must be able to have pieces of milestones that you have covered as a student. You must be able to look back and reflect and say, this is what I've achieved so far, and this is what I want to achieve. That gives you the motivation to know what the gaps, the areas that you have fulfilled as a student, and the areas where you have multiple gaps. In the process, you become an expert in your area. There you have it. Always remember the 5 golden rules. No one cares about your history. No one is competing with you. Be street smart and do it more than once. And finally, always look back and reflect. There you have it. The 5 golden rules. Now you have power to read and write.